you're a business owner, you probably feel like you're spending far too much money on software. I want to tell you how we recently helped one of our clients to save over $13,000 in software subscription, and how you can also save money for your own business. Last year, my agency helped our client with a problem that they were having with their business. They were using a dozen different software platforms. Things for courses, things to host their website, for calendar booking, for email marketing, to host their groups and their online community. They were using so many different tools. And around about the same time, the client and I both had stumbled across High Level CRM, and we're talking about implementing this in their business. We did a discovery where we looked at, totaled up the amount that she was spending on software, and it worked out to be around $1,500 a month. She felt that this could be money that she could save by going to Go High Level. Now, High Level is about $300 a month USD, but they do allow people to resell this to their clients, which is something we do to our clients. So I said to her, look, what we could do is we could charge $99 a month Australian. And then on top of that, you pay for what you use. So if you're sending out emails, you're using AI, or sending text messages, etc., you pay per use. And it works out to be about $15 for every 10,000 emails, something like that. But we did all the maths, and it worked out to be way cheaper for her to move to High Level CRM and start using the system across the board. So the first step we did was a discovery session to really map out what exactly we're going to need to move. Now, in discovery, you want to know how much data you have, what you're going to need to migrate, what courses, what funnels, everything across the board, so that you have a clear picture of the work involved. This took us a while because Wedding Academy had dozens of different online courses and certificate programs. They had about 25 different email funnels, which had automation. They were using Zapier to get their e-commerce system where people purchase to then push into their course system. There was a lot of moving parts in this project. Once we'd finished discovery, we estimated that the work would probably take about 2 months to deliver. We wanted to focus on the most expensive software first and created a migration plan to launch things successfully and let our customers know what was happening. The first step we had to do was set everything up in the new system. So this client had plenty of courses. We had to import those into the new system, which allows you to build online courses and has a complete course module built into the platform. We set up all those courses. We then copied over the modules. We copied over the course content. We added in the videos and the workbooks and got that completed. We then had to configure the emails to invite people into the platform, make sure that we migrated over her students, and we planned for the launch once we had gone through and tested everything together. We made sure that all the notifications were working, all of the emails were going out correctly, and we started hyping it up to her students to make sure that they knew there was going to be a new platform that they would be able to access their courses on from the launch date. After a lot of hard work, we launched successfully. The students were able to come into the new platform and access the courses. The next thing we wanted to focus on was email marketing system. The client was using Kajabi for her courses, and she was using Klaviyo for her email marketing platform. Both were charging around $500 a month for, respectively, for the service that they provide. So Klaviyo was the next to go. Something that's a pet peeve of mine is email marketing systems charge you based on the number of contacts you have in the database, not how many emails you send per month, which to me is why? It's just, you're literally just storing people's information in your database. Why do I have to pay extra for that? It would make more sense to just say, look, you can have as many people as you want here, but we charge you based on the number of emails you send per month. But that's just me. The good news is that with High Level, you can allow that to happen. High Level plug into different email providers like Mailgun, or they have their own email provider as well. And essentially, they charge you a fraction of a cent per email that you send, which works out to be about $15 Australian or $10 US for about 10,000 emails. So we had to migrate over all of her emails. And like I said, she had around 25 different email series and funnels that we had to migrate over. Mapping out the workflows for each series, creating those workflows in terms of what triggered it, which emails to send, the delays and logic in those, and set that up in the new system. Once we had that configured, we ran through everything and we launched that live as well and plugged it into her e-commerce system. But for a little while, we actually had Zapier plugging in to the High Level system to then trigger those events and make sure the email marketing thing was done. So once that phase was completed, we were able to switch off Kajabi and Klaviyo and save $1,000 a month. The next few features we looked at were the calendar booking system. High Level has its own appointment booking system. So we set that up for her free consultations, her support calls, and then launched that live. The next thing was live chat. We made sure that on her website, the sales live chat was linked up to High Level. We did some training with her virtual assistant, her customer support person, to make sure that she knew how to check the messages. The next thing was we connected WhatsApp. For an extra $10 a month, you could connect your business WhatsApp account and send messages to your database through WhatsApp, which is a really cool feature. This saved her even more money because before that she was sending out text messages, and those can cost a pretty penny. Last but not least, we had created a community for the client. So the community was replacing Circle, which is again another group community platform that charges $99 a month. Once we had everything migrated over, we could pat ourselves on the back because we'd finished the project. The last thing to do was make sure all of the automation was working correctly so that we could switch off Zapier as well. This project took us a total of 2 months. There was heaps and heaps of work in there. All in, I think it took us about 80 hours of work between me and my team. Even with that, even if we're charging $100 an hour, that's $8,000 that she would spend to save 15 grand. Let's say hypothetically she spent 8 grand to have us in migrating everything over and setting it all up for her. If she's spending 15,000 a year, it would only take her a third of a year to already have paid off the migration costs. After a year, she's already saved 10 grand. After 2 years, she'd be saving $24,000 because we're charging her $99 a month. This project was a huge undertaking, but it just goes to show that a lot of businesses will stay with the software that they start with, unless you're doing a high-level overview, because at the end of the day, it's there and you need it. But how often do we look around at what other platforms are out there? Just like your insurance or anything else that you have that's just running in the background, it pays once a year to look through things and see, is there a better option that I could use that's going to give me the same results for less cost? High Level is a full business in a box, and we are huge advocates for it in our agency. If you feel like you're paying too much for software, feel free to reach out to me for a free consultation, and we can talk through how you can migrate to High Level CRM. We can help you from beginning to end to look at what you're spending now, what are the tools and platforms that you have in place, go through and look at the specifics of what you're using them for, and how we can rebuild them in High Level, and then migrate that over for you. We can do training and make sure that you understand how to use the system. High Level CRM, just like most systems, it can be difficult to set up. But just like building a website, most people aren't going to try to do it themselves because they might not have the know-how, they might not have the patience to learn it, and they'd rather just pay somebody to get it done, knowing that they're going to use the website to get new inquiries and contacts and reply to those as needed. They might update blog articles, etc., but you're not going to be building every single page yourself. So I try to liken it, same approach. With a project like this, get professionals to help you in setting it up, making sure that it works, and then you can use it for the core features you need. If you'd like to book in a free consultation with me, you can on the link below, and I'd love to chat about how we can help you today. That's it for me. Thanks so much for watching our Social Geeks digital agency case study, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care.